Moo Flu, written by Dan McGinley, illustrated by Aubrey Fitch. Marisa was eating her breakfast one morning when all of a sudden she heard a harsh warning. The newscaster came on the TV to say the first case of Moo Flu has popped up today. Marisa was worried, becoming quite nervous. Black and white spots appeared with this virus. His skin's like a cow, is what someone had said after seeing the boy while he lay there in bed. The principal told Marisa's teacher real quickly to tell the Moo Flu boy to stay home while sickly. Marisa was sad since that boy was her friend, so she volunteered to deliver the work they would send. She hoped to be able to talk to her chappie to see how sad he may be or how happy. If she had this sickness, she may have a smile. She liked the idea of missing school for a while. But when she arrived to visit the boy, she found that this illness would not bring her joy. For as soon as the mom saw Marisa arrive, she said she could not take one step inside. So Marisa handed over the schoolwork and turned, walked away from his house with much utter concern. She glanced one last look up to the boy's room. A white and black hand was all that did loom. Back home, Marisa told her mother the news, who said the boy's friendship is one she must lose. Just by looking at him, her mom squeamishly said, the Moo Flu will end up right up on your head. Marisa did not want to believe her own mother, but knew she said it because she did love her. The next day in school, the word had got out. Everyone was spreading rumors about. The Moo Flu will get you if you just breathe, or walk, or talk, or even look at this disease. So the school board convened and issued an order. The boy was not welcome at school any longer. Signs were put up all over the town that made Marisa feel dreary and down. There were posters and writings all over the walls saying he was too dangerous for even phone calls. The townspeople called a large meeting at once. There were hundreds of people yelling out some loud grunts. The boy must be sent to a faraway place where no one will ever again see his face. Just as the townspeople were about to decide, the boy and his family outside did arrive. They tried to get into the meeting to say how the boy had become to be looking this way. The folks were scared and would not let him in. Then a sly idea made Marisa's face show a grin. She went to the bathroom, and when she came out, the whole group exclaimed and let out a shout. They pointed and backed all the way to the wall. A black and white face on Marisa they saw. Marisa marched her way right up to the door. No one dared stand in her way anymore. She let in her friend and another man too. The man was her uncle, Dr. Douglas DeGoo. The doctor stood up to address the large crowd, telling all the results of which he had found. The truth of this sickness they all dreadfully feared, and how their reactions were so very weird. A person cannot get the Moo Flu so easy as being around someone that may appear wheezy. The Moo Flu is one of those types of sickness that is not contracted just by being a witness. There are certain rules for how it can spread, not those silly things all you people have said. The boy is not someone to treat disrespectful, and pushing him out of the town was just dreadful. How would you like to be treated this way? It would make you feel awful, he started to say. Then one man jumped up to the front with a fright. Well, then how come Marisa has turned black and white? Marisa grabbed from her pocket a cloth and rubbed those spots on her face right clear off. She tricked all those people by painting the spots. The townspeople's actions had her stomach in knots. So Marisa devised this idea, and she planned by calling her uncle to help them understand. The doctor went on to tell how folks get ill, opposing the talk of the great rumor mill. The way you get sick when someone else is, you contract the germs that are hers or his. You could breathe in those germs if the person does sneeze, or get them on your hands when touching their keys. The most common way for a sickness to land is from touching your face with your own germy hand. Most people will rub or scratch their eyes, and biting your fingernails is never wise. The best way to become a germ miser is washing your hands and using sanitizer. You all should have seen this with a clearer iris. Just hanging around him cannot give you the virus. Finally, the boy spoke up to say it was lame to call him those things, for he had a name. My name is Robert, he yelled out so proud. Not Moo Flu or Cow Kid, he screamed to the crowd. They all bowed their heads as if taking the blame. Treating Robert wrong had made them feel shame. They said they were just scared a little, you see, and worried about getting the spots was the key. But now that the doctor has taught them the truth, they'd show more character and respect this youth. Then, quiet as mice, no more words did they say, exited the door and walked home straight away. Robert turned around to his very best friend and thanked her for all the support she did lend. So later that week, Robert returned to school. The townspeople had thrown out their silly new rule. Marisa escorted her friend to the door, hoping the kids would bother Robert no more. He still had remnants left up on his face. The black and white blotches were faded in place. As he opened the door, he was very relieved. No one was there to tell him to leave. Not one single person was even around. What did it mean? Had everyone left town? Marisa grabbed his hand and ushered him in. All the teachers and children were inside the gym. A gigantic sign was hanging from the ceiling. Then words gave Robert a very good feeling. Welcome back, we are sorry, in large ABCs. What a shock beheld Robert, and it wasn't a tease. All of their faces had a black and white patch. They were painted the same so that all of them match. The group hoped their faces might help him accept them back in his heart and forget their neglect. Robert smiled to show he no longer felt blue, then made them all laugh when he yelled out a moo. A few weeks went by and the moo flu had passed. The black and white spots did no longer last. Normal life returned for the whole town, except for what Marisa and Robert had found. While walking to school, they saw on the street their friend Michelle had something near her feet. She had a weird thing obstructing her stance, a flat waffle print tail that was starting to dance. Marisa and Robert hugged their friend, didn't leave her. They were not scared at all of this dreaded beaver fever. The Moo Flu by Dan McGinley, illustrated by Aubrey Fitch.